Coming up on Mountain News this morning, several communities in Letcher County are remembering the life of a woman who was celebrated as a community changer earlier this year. And while there's been a lot of rain in Kentucky this year, we've experienced dry weather these past few weeks.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News this morning.
Good morning, I'm Caroline Mueller. It's 5:32 and today's date is Friday, August 22nd. Let's check in with meteorologist Megan Dusmel for a look at your forecast this morning. Now Megan, it was a little chilly out there, but I know you were telling us earlier that's not going to be here long today. It's still going to get quite a bit hot.
Yes, you are right on the money with that. It is a chillier start. We're seeing those temperatures mainly in the 60s, and for some folks, we're even seeing the low 60s this morning, 63 in Wise and Clintwood. But unfortunately, the hot weather returns very quickly. In fact, as we're heading into that 4 o'clock time frame, we're looking at upper 80s and yes, some chances for low 90s. 90 degrees is that forecast high temperature for Middlesboro and Somerset as well as Hyden. Now, in terms of what we're seeing for the remainder of your day, it's going to be mostly sunny, nice and clear. Little to no rain chances. Only our farthest eastern counties like Dickinson and Buchanan County, Virginia, and maybe Mingo and Logan could see a little sprinkle activity as we head into late evening hours, but nice and clear is what we're going to see for the last day of this work week. Caroline.
Megan, thank you. Rescue crews in Wolfe County saved a group of elderly women Wednesday night. The women were staying at a remote cabin. They were relaxing in a hot tub, but two of them could not get out. The two started overheating and became unresponsive. Rescuers got the duo out of the water and helped them cool down. The women are recovering at the hospital. In Laurel County, a man is facing charges after he was accused of hitting another man. Police were called to a business off Kentucky 770 Wednesday. They say they received a complaint about a fight going on. When they got there, they say Richard Logsden was under the influence and smelled alcohol coming from him. Logsden was taken to the Laurel County Correctional Center. A procession through Breathitt County honoring the life of 10-year-old Jaden Spicer. Hundreds wearing Jaden's favorite colors, red and blue, lined the route to his final resting place. Yesterday's funeral comes just more than 2 weeks since he was first reported missing. Madison Carmouche was there and talked to people who were part of Jaden's farewell.
Jaden, I know you're up there, and I know you're smiling. But honey, you may be gone, but you are not forgotten.
Emergency vehicles from across eastern Kentucky made their way to Breathitt County on Thursday to honor the life of Jaden Spicer. People from other counties and states came to Jackson after hearing the tragic ending to a week-long search for the young boy.
Every child needs to have a voice, even if it means that everybody in the community has to stand up for that child.
Jerica Spencer was just one of the hundreds of people who held a balloon for Jaden as more than 100 vehicles drove by in his funeral procession, escorting him to his final resting place. As the hearse passed by, hundreds of people released their balloons as a tribute to Jaden's bright light.
It was amazing today to see everybody come together from different counties. And I don't think it could have got any better than having everybody coming together.
Breathitt funeral home owner Jeff Hamilton says when people heard of Jaden's death, there were calls from across the country donating money for Jaden's arrangements. This included a custom-made Spider-Man casket all the way from Texas.
Us people in eastern Kentucky, I've always been proud to be from eastern Kentucky because when something like this tragedy strikes, people, they step up, they step in, and they do what needs to be done, and they come together. And we're a very tight-knit, close bunch of people.
People say as they say their goodbyes to Jaden, they will not forget the lasting impact he made in Breathitt County and beyond. In Breathitt County, Madison Carmouche, WKYT.
Aspire Appalachia shared an update to its Jaden initiative. The group wanted to create 50 comfort care bags for children entering the foster system to honor Jaden's memory. Several communities in Letcher County are remembering the life of a woman who was celebrated as a community changer earlier this year. Quinn Tessa has been an advocate for Appalachia her entire life, rallying for Black voices, community togetherness, and education. She was diagnosed with sickle cell anemia at 11 months old and turned her fight into a call to action, encouraging others and being a champion for blood donation. Peak, who was awarded with the East Kentucky Leadership Foundation's Carolyn Sunday Award earlier this year, died Friday, leaving a community to mourn and remember her legacy.
It was not necessarily a position that she had in the county, but her presence and the way that people in the community looked at her, respected and honored her, made her be the kind of leader and that you wanted to aspire to.
Since Peak relied on donated blood through hundreds of blood transfusions during her fight, her loved ones say they are encouraging people to pull up a sleeve and donate now in her memory. You can find Peak's funeral arrangements up on our website. Folks continue to discuss the wild horses in Breathitt County. Some people calling them free roaming horses, while others say they are more accurately classified as feral horses. Twice recently, WYMT has spoken to the Appalachian Horse Project about the animals and their hopes for them. Yesterday, WYMT's Amelia Lee spoke with folks living near the horses who say it is time for them to find permanent homes and live better lives.
Faith Riley lives right by the horses in Breathitt County. She says the situation has progressively gotten worse, requiring immediate intervention.
It's hard for me to believe that people would rather see these animals starving, hurt, injured, having to fight to survive than try to find them a decent home.
Riley showed me pictures of the horses and of a car crash she says was caused by horses in the roadway. She says the horses are not free roaming, but were abandoned and now need proper care.
The horses being picked up is the same as taking a dog to a pound. You are giving it a chance that it did not have before. And I believe the horses deserve a chance. I know people claim they're free and wild back there and all that. No, that ain't a life. They might be living, but that is not a life.
The Breathitt County Fiscal Court gave approval to remove the stray horses. Phyllis Clemens lives 6 miles from them. She says she wants a better life for the horses after seeing them starving and hit by cars.
They don't need to be abandoned and thrown out. And I feel so bad about them. And when I see them and their ribs and sores on them, I cry. Yeah. Because it makes me feel bad that I didn't speak up a long time ago.
Breathitt County officials say so far, 2 people are picking up the horses and have completed the stray hold process. The folks taking them are from Kentucky, like Bradley Howard, who owns Diamond B Equine in McCreary County.
We've been feeding them, getting them fat, watering them, and just letting them enjoy life as a horse. As not a wild animal, they don't have to fight for their feed. You know, they don't have to worry about if they're going to eat. I can holler at them, they everyone run right up there to us, we pour feed out, they eat peacefully.
According to the Kentucky Department of Agriculture's website, as of Thursday afternoon, 24 horses have been taken from the strip mines. 18 of those horses completed the 15-day stray hold process, now having new owners. In Breathitt County, Amelia Lee, WYMT, Mountain News.
County officials say there are anywhere between 300 to 500 horses on all of the strip jobs in the county. To hear what the Appalachian Horse Project has spoken to WYMT about in regards to the horses, you can find this story on our website, WYMT.com. Animal welfare advocates are sounding the alarm on what they call dangerous horse racing practices in Puerto Rico and a lack of aftercare. Chrissy Laughlin lives in Nicholasville but spent several years in the Caribbean island where she says she witnessed horrific examples of neglect and abuse. Many of the horses they helped rescue were Kentucky bred. She is hoping some of the programs offered in the States will be used to keep a better eye on the animals.
How important are those tabs and data points to be able to monitor? They are critical and really a cradle to grave philosophy of monitoring horses, which I believe the industry as a whole supports and is moving toward that kind of transparency and tracking.
There's only one racetrack on the island. The track has vehemently denied the abuse and neglect allegations and criticism. While there's been a lot of rain in Kentucky this year, we have experienced a drier spell as of late. This has caused concerns for some local fire officials. Clark County has already issued a burn ban, but they're not the only ones worried about the lack of rain. Woodford County Fire Chief Melvin Montgomery is aware of the concern during the next 10 days as rainfall looks to be marginal.
By the weekend, if we don't get some kind of rain, we'll probably have to cut all burns off for the time being.
Chief Montgomery says these conditions make it easy for fires to get out of hand. If you do need to burn something, make sure that burn is supervised at all times. For the first time in 30 years, the American Academy of Pediatrics is straying away from government recommendations after the CDC has changed perspective on childhood COVID vaccines. The AAP has created their own recommendations, saying all children between the ages of 6 months and 23 months should still get the shot. One doctor who works for the Lexington-Fayette County Health Department says the recent decision made by HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has set things back a bit.
While there may be sponsors to provide for benevolent funding, our whole world revolves around sponsorship and philanthropic giving.
Davis says when it comes to kids, he wants to see them get the shot. The health department does say if you've got a child that's older than 2 and does have risk factors, make that decision between you and your pediatrician to decide what's the best result for your child. The morning show is back for its 4th season. That and more in a look of today's Eye on Entertainment.
And rain chances will be picking up this weekend.
Meet the